Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on something I think a lot of English learners run into,
Mhm.
that feeling. When it's actually time to speak English, your throat just kind of closes up.
Oh, yeah. That's speaking anxiety. It's incredibly common.
We've been looking at a really useful YouTube transcript. It's from the BBX Learning English podcast, and it really gets into this whole issue.
Absolutely. It's striking how many learners face this, isn't it? Even people with good grammar, good vocabulary,
Mhm.
they still freeze.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. So our mission today really is simple. We want to give you some actual tools, some insights maybe to help you break through that fear.
And start speaking with, well, more confidence.
Exactly. Have you ever been there? You know, you've got the perfect sentence in your head all ready to go,
Yeah,
and then just nothing comes out. It's so frustrating.
it really is. And it's more than just frustrating, right? This fear, it can actually slow down your learning.
Yeah, it can kind of take the fun out of it too. But, okay, let's start with the big message up front. Learning English, it's a journey. It's about progress, getting better step by step, not suddenly being perfect.
That's such a crucial point. Perfection isn't the goal here.
So let's unpack why. Why does this fear happen? Where does it come from?
Okay, let's do it. The transcript points to a few main reasons. And the first one is, well, pretty obvious maybe. It's the fear of making mistakes.
Ah, yes, that little voice inside your head, right? Telling you you'll use the wrong word or your grammar will be off.
Or worse, someone might laugh. It can be paralyzing, that thought.
Totally. But it's funny, isn't it? Because the whole point of talking is just to communicate.
Exactly. It's not about, performing a grammatically perfect script. It's about getting your idea across. And honestly, native speakers make mistakes all the time.
Oh, constantly. You hear people correcting themselves, pausing, rephrasing. It's just normal conversation.
Right. Nobody speaks like a textbook. So focusing on tiny errors kind of misses the point of talking to someone.
Okay, so fear of mistakes is number one. What's next?
Tied into that is the fear of being judged. Feeling shy, maybe embarrassed about your accent, or just how you sound when you speak English.
Yeah, feeling exposed like that. It's uncomfortable for anyone.
It is. But, think about it from the other side. If someone's trying to speak your native language, even if they struggle a bit.
You're usually just impressed they're trying.
Exactly. Most people are supportive. They want to understand you. And if someone does offer a correction, it's usually meant to be helpful, not critical.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Okay, what else?
Another big one is the fear of your mind just going blank. Forgetting words mid-sentence, getting stuck.
Oh, the worst, that tip of the tongue feeling, but for everything.
Yeah, and the panic sets in and you just stop talking altogether.
Happens to the best of us though, right? In any language.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The transcript points out the key isn't to never forget a word. It's learning how to handle that moment. Stay calm.
Find another way to say it.
Yeah, or use a simpler word. Or just pause for a second. It's okay to pause.
Right. It's not the end of the world. Okay, and there was one more main fear.
Yes, the fear of not sounding like a native speaker. This idea that you need a, quote, perfect accent.
Which is kind of impossible anyway, isn't it? There are so many English accents.
Exactly. Think about accents just within the UK or the US or Australia, India. English is global. There is no single perfect accent.
So what really matters is just being clear. Can people understand you?
That's it. Clarity is the goal. Not sounding like you were born in London or New York, unless that's specifically what you're aiming for some reason. Your accent is part of who you are.
Okay, so those are the main culprits. Fear of mistakes, judgment, forgetting words, and not sounding native.
Mm-hmm. And understanding these is the first step.
Mm-hmm.
But then we need to see how these fears actually, stop you from getting better.
Right. How do they actively hold you back? Let's get into that.
Well, the most direct way is just avoidance. Simple as that. If speaking feels scary, you'll avoid doing it.
Makes sense. You stick to listening, reading, writing, the safer stuff.
And you might tell yourself, oh, I'll speak later when I feel more confident. But the transcript makes a great point here.
Which is?
Speaking is like a muscle.
Ah, okay.
If you don't use it, it doesn't get stronger. It actually gets weaker. Waiting for confidence doesn't build the skill.
Right, you have to actually do it to get better at it. Like trying to learn guitar just by reading music theory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another thing fear does is it makes you overthink.
Trying to plan the perfect sentence before you say anything.
Yes. That mental gymnastics routine. You're trying Pre-check every word, every grammar point,
Which just makes you hesitate, sound unnatural.
and it shifts your focus, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just connecting with the person you're talking to, you're focused internally on not making mistakes.
Yeah, it kills the flow of the conversation, becomes a performance, not a chat.
Precisely. And all this, the avoiding, the overthinking, it just chips away at your confidence.
It becomes a cycle, doesn't it?
Totally. You avoid speaking because you lack confidence, but avoiding it prevents you from building confidence. So you feel even less adequate.
It's a real trap. Fear leads to inaction. Inaction reinforces the fear.
A vicious cycle, yeah. And maybe the saddest part, it just sucks the joy out of learning.
Yeah. Instead of being excited about learning something new, you're just stressed.
And stress is terrible for learning. When you're anxious, your brain literally isn't as good at taking in new information.
Wow. Okay, so the fear isn't just in your head, it actually physically makes learning harder.
Research suggests that yes, anxiety impacts cognitive function, memory, processing. So that fear you feel, it's a genuine barrier to progress.
That's really important to understand. If you feel stuck, maybe it's not just about grammar rules, maybe it's the fear itself.
It often plays a huge role. But, and this is the good news.
There are ways to fix it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The transcript is really positive about this. This cycle can be broken. And that leads us to the practical stuff. What can you actually do?
Okay, let's hear it. Actionable steps. What's strategy number 1?
It starts with mindset. You have to change how you think about mistakes.
Okay. Easier said than done sometimes, but how?
Instead of seeing them as like failures or signs you're bad at English, see them as learning opportunities.
Right. Proof that you're trying.
Exactly. Every mistake shows you where you need a bit more practice. It's feedback. It's essential for getting better.
So embrace the errors, almost. Be proud you're making the effort.
Yes. Give yourself credit for trying. Nobody gets it perfect right away. Shift from avoid errors to learn from errors.
Okay, mindset shift on mistakes. Got it. Strategy 2.
Speak, even when you're scared.
Just do it anyway.
Pretty much. You can't wait until the fear magically disappears, because it might not. Confidence comes from doing, not from waiting.
So start small.
Yeah, the transcript suggests things like, just talk to yourself in English. Narrate what you're doing.
Or practice in front of a mirror. Record yourself.
Exactly. Low-stakes practice. Get used to the sound of your own voice speaking English. The more you do it in safe ways, the less scary the real thing becomes.
Makes sense. Okay, number 3.
Focus on communication, not perfection. We touched on this, but it's key.
Getting the message across is goal number 1.
Right. Did the other person understand you? If yes, success. Forget the minor grammar slip or the slightly off pronunciation for a moment.
Think about how you listen to someone learning your language.
You just focus on understanding them.
Yeah.
You appreciate the effort. Most people listening to you speak English feel the same way.
Good reminder. Okay, strategy 4.
Find a safe space to practice. This is crucial.
Like supportive people.
Yeah. Friends learning too, a patient tutor, maybe an online group where everyone's in the same boat. Somewhere you don't feel judged.
The transcript mentioned language exchange sites too, or even just talking out loud to yourself if you can't find a partner right away.
The key is just regular use in a low-pressure environment. It builds familiarity, reduces the scariness factor.
Okay, number 5 is interesting. Train your brain to think in English.
Yeah, this is about cutting out the middleman, your native language.
Instead of thinking in, say, Spanish, then translating to English in your head.
Try to think directly in English. Start simple. Look around the room, name things in English in your head. Plan your day mentally, but in English.
The idea is that this makes your responses quicker, more natural over time.
Exactly. It builds those direct pathways in your brain. Less translation lag, more intuitive speaking.
Cool. And the last strategy, number 6.
Make it fun.
Seriously.
Find ways to enjoy using English.
Absolutely. Watch movies you like, listen to music, find online forums about your hobbies, but do it in English.
Because when you're having fun, you're less focused on being perfect, less anxious.
Precisely. The fear just kind of fades into the background when you're genuinely engaged and enjoying yourself.
Okay, those are great overall strategies. Now, the transcript also had some specific exercises, right? Things people can actually try.
It has concrete exercises to ease you into speaking more. First one, mirror practice. Talking to yourself in the mirror. Some people might feel a bit silly doing that at first.
Maybe. But it's surprisingly effective. Stand there, talk about your day, describe what you see in English.
What's the main benefit?
You get comfortable with the physical act of speaking, hearing your own English voice. Plus, you can see your expressions, your body language. It takes away the pressure of another person being there.
And you can gradually make it harder, longer sentences, different topics, maybe record it.
Yeah, recording is great for tracking progress and noticing things you might want to work on, pronunciation-wise maybe.
Okay. Mirror practice. What's next?
The shadowing technique.
Ah, yeah. Where you copy what someone says.
Exactly. Find some audio, a podcast bit, a short video, and try to repeat what the speaker says right after they say it. Mimic their rhythm, their intonation.
Like being their echo.
Kind of. The goal isn't perfect words at first. It's catching the flow, the music of the language. It trains your mouth and ears.
And that makes you feel more natural, more confident when you try to produce those sounds yourself later.
That's the idea. It makes the patterns feel more familiar, less foreign.
Okay. Shadowing. Then there was something called speak in sentences.
Yeah, this one's really simple but good if full conversations feel too much.
How does it work?
Pick one short, simple sentence like, I love reading books.
Okay.
Then say it out loud 10 times. Focus on clarity, confidence.
Just repeating the same sentence.
Yep, until it feels easy, natural. Then pick another slightly harder one. I enjoy learning English every day. 10 times. Then another.
So you're building confidence one sentence at a time, reducing the fear of messing up a long thought.
Exactly. Repetition builds comfort and automates it a bit.
Nice. Okay, what else?
The word association game. This one's more about thinking fast.
Sounds fun. How do you play?
Start with any English word. Say apple. Then quickly say the first related English word that pops into your head.
Like fruit.
Yeah. Then from fruit, maybe banana. From the nana, yellow. Keep going, making quick connections.
So it trains your brain to link English words quickly like you need to in a conversation.
Right. Don't worry about perfect links, just keep the flow going. Builds mental speed in English.
Cool. And the last exercise.
Speaking with a language buddy. This is kind of the bridge to real conversations.
Finding someone to practice with.
Exactly. A friend, a tutor, someone online. Have actual low-pressure chats in English.
Because talking with someone feels different than talking at a mirror.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
interactive. The pressure is often less because it's two-way. And the more you do it, the more normal it feels. The fear genuinely starts to fade with regular, real practice.
Builds trust in your own ability to actually communicate.
Definitely. You
Yeah.
start to see, hey, I can do this.
Those are some really practical exercises. And sometimes just hearing that other people went through the same thing and got past it, that helps too. The transcript had success stories.
Yes, a couple of really encouraging ones. There was Maria. She was apparently terrified at first, like completely froze up.
Okay, relatable for some listeners, maybe.
For sure. But she was determined. She started small, practiced every day, talked to the mirror, like we discussed. Then she started recording herself. Then finally, she found a language partner online.
So gradual steps.
Very gradual, but consistent. And over time, that fear just lessened. Now, the story goes, she speaks fluently without that constant anxiety.
Wow. That really shows what persistence can do, even starting from a place of real fear.
Absolutely. Then there was Ahmed. His big fear was speaking to native speakers, worried about his accent, making mistakes.
Yeah, that specific situation can feel extra intimidating.
It can. But his approach was interesting. He deliberately focused on communication, not perfection.
Like we talked about earlier, message over mechanics.
Exactly. He made himself have small, casual chats in English every day with friends about anything simple.
Just short, regular interactions.
Yeah. And slowly, that consistency chipped away at the fear. Now he apparently joins in conversations confidently without getting hung up on being perfect.
So his story really highlights that focus on connection and how even small, regular practice adds up.
Definitely. Both stories just drive home the point. It is possible. Practice, persistence, the right mindset. You can overcome this. You don't have to be perfect tomorrow. Just keep going.
That's really good to hear. Very motivating.
Yeah, just as it's not some impossible mountain to climb. Maria and Ahmed did it. Lots of learners do.
Okay, well, this has been really helpful, I think. We've dug into why that fear of speaking English happens.
Looked at how it, unfortunately, can get in the way of your progress.
And most importantly, we've gone through a bunch of, real strategies and actual exercises you can use to start tackling it.
Yeah, the big takeaway is you can break free from this fear. It takes shifting your thinking a bit, taking consistent action, using these kinds of practical steps.
So here's the challenge for everyone listening. Your call to action. Pick one exercise, just one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe mirror practice. Maybe recording yourself for a minute. Maybe trying shadowing with a short audio clip. Whatever feels doable.
And commit to doing it every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
Seriously, 5 minutes consistently is way better than an hour once a month. Consistency really is everything here.
And try to make it fun. Remember that part too. Find ways to enjoy the process.
Every little bit you do, every sentence you try, it's getting you closer to feeling more confident. And remember, you're definitely not the only one feeling this way.
Not at all. It's a shared journey. Every day is a fresh chance to practice and improve just a little bit.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think beyond just learning English as you get more confident speaking.
Yeah.
What else opens up?
Yeah, what new connections can you make? What opportunities might appear? What different conversations can you suddenly be part of?
It's about more than just language skills, isn't it? It's about opening up new parts of the world, new ways to connect. That's pretty exciting.
It really is.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.